So with that being said, I do, as Reed said, I only have about 45 minutes with you. And so I am going to talk a little bit quickly, and I want to just kind of get straight to the market. But first thing I'm going to tell all of you is this. What my goal is, my goal today is to really give you all a proper expectation as far as what you can expect as a Forex investor. I know a lot of you in the room might have some experience in the Forex market. Maybe you have experience in some other markets. But real quickly, type in the word me or Y for yes in the chat box if you are you have always maybe wanted to learn the Forex market, or maybe you're currently trading the Forex market. You can even put in trading it, whether it's demo or live, doesn't matter. Or, you could put in just interest. But I just want to kind of get an idea of who we have in the room. Awesome. Johnny says trading demo now. Bradford, good stuff, says demo. And Garrett, Anthony, and everybody else that's typing that in. Perfect. Okay. Awesome. Thank you for that. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into things. I do have to let all of you know, though, the good old disclaimer, right? Before we get started, you have to know that trading does have its own form of risk involved. So you should never invest money that you cannot afford to lose, and you always want to trade with equity management in mind. There is no such thing as an undefeated season, and you may incur losses from time to time, but the key is to keep your profits high and have minimal losses. And once again, we'll talk a little bit about that when we do get to the live market, of course. Now, for those of you that, I don't know how many of you have maybe heard me speak or maybe you have not, but I just want to kind of give you a little bit of a breakdown on myself. As I mentioned before, my name is Michael Tawill, and in the past 7 years, I've been coaching and mentoring individuals on essentials necessary to succeed in the marketplace. I do speak to organizations and large audiences, training them on how to become a results-driven achiever. And I also, a little bit of history on schooling, if you will. I did attend the University of Florida. I got accepted into law schools, and that's the route that I was going to go down. But the problem is I was in my 20s, okay, and that's when I was basically at a point in my life where I'm like, okay, is this all there is, right? I was done with school. I was done with everything. But it was just, I looked good, smelled good, but I was broke, and I just needed another way to get ahead. And that's ultimately how I was introduced to the Forex market. I didn't know a thing about it, didn't even really know it existed, to be honest with you. I knew that there was, foreign exchange markets and stuff like that, but I had no knowledge of it whatsoever. And so fast forward, here I am today teaching all of you, which is pretty awesome. But how many of you can relate with me? Type in yes or the word be if you're at a point where, you're just like, look, I've done everything I'm supposed to do. You've worked hard, provided and protected, but you're just at a point where you want something more. And obviously, it's almost like a rhetorical question because you wouldn't be here if you weren't, right? And so real quickly, I'm here on behalf of a company, MTI. MTI stands for Market Traders Institute, and it's an education company. They are the first and the oldest Forex trading institute on the planet, and they have been in existence since April of 1994. So been around for over 21 years, approaching 22, and they are the largest Forex educator as far as actual support infrastructure in the Forex market. Now, think about this real quickly. Been around for over 21 years, okay, over 30,000 clients and students. That's longevity, okay? We are not a fan of gimmicks whatsoever, and if you're wondering, why do I take time to talk about this stuff, it's simple. It's because a lot of you out there that are looking to, honestly, you're ready to win, you're ready to partner up foundation behind what I'm going to do. One more thing, there's a lot of companies out there that just want to provide you with something gimmicky, and that's it, right? They kind of leave you hanging, and that's why we talk about this stuff. Now, you obviously do see, I don't know if you're familiar with the Inc. magazine, but we were listed on that in one of the top 5,000. Okay, you can see right there 1,180 is just fastest growing companies, and I can go on and on. But one thing that we stand on, okay, that I take pride in telling you is that we never leave a client behind. All right, doesn't matter. And here's the beauty behind it. It doesn't matter how fast you want to learn, how slow you want to learn. All that matters is that you want to learn, and then the rest is really up to you as far as the pace goes. Now, one more thing I want to talk about, and I want you all to pay very close attention to what I'm about to let you know, because I don't know if you guys know this, but the average Forex trader, they claim that they're only about 33% profitable. Okay, it's fairly dismal if you ask me. I didn't make this up. This is from data collected every quarter by brokers via a survey. Well, we did the same thing here at MTI, except for all of our students, and here's the difference. MTI Forex traders are 61% profitable, making them 85% more likely to profit than the average trader out there. All right, so listen, don't take my word for it. The proof is in the numbers. Now, as we move along, not only does MTI have some of the absolute best education, and I can go on and on resources, but we also have some of the absolute best Forex instructors and analysts in the Forex industry. Now, one of the individuals I'm going to bring to light real quick, his name is Joshua Martinez. He is a professional trader. he's a product expert. He's trained thousands of Forex investors. He's turned an initial deposit investment of $500 and generated over $39,000 of profit. Okay, made thousands of Forex investments, published author, international speaker, pro analyst, and a full-time trader. That was a mouthful. Okay, now if you're wondering why, Mike, why the heck are you even telling us this? What's so, why do we need to know this about Josh? Here's why. Because I want you all to take a look real quickly here, okay, at an account, all right? And I want you to notice this and let me know if you guys can relate with this, okay? Or maybe if you can't yet, but you want to. For example, if you take a look back in June 5th of 2011, he opened up a trading account with just 500 US dollars, okay? What this gave him the ability to do was to trade with a micro position. Now, when he first started trading, maybe like many of you, he was only making around $2 to $5 per trade and losing $2 to $5 per trade. But when he started going through the education that MTI offers, he started noticing patterns in the market. Now, if we fast forward, you'll see that he was able to take time compounding and build residual income. And through the course, when he was able to, he put more money in. And this is what allows you and allowed him to, make more money. Okay, we'll talk about leverage as well. But he stuck with it. Okay, and what it did is it ultimately taught him how to reinvest his money, compound, build residual type income, and of course, when he deposited money along the way, this is what ultimately allowed him to see daily returns of up to $4,000 to $5,000 per day in profits. And he was even withdrawing $10,000 at a time. Okay, and what once took him a single day. Let me ask you this question. Type in a Y for yes in the chat box if you would like to have this type of track record. Okay, if either whether you relate to it or you would like to have a track record that kind of looks like this. Everybody wants the end result, but how many of you understand that you have to start somewhere, and that's what it's all about? Now, one more thing I want to show you because I'm ready to pull up my charts here, but if you take a look at his track record, which is third-party verified, you'll notice that he has a gain of 4,548.82% return on his initial deposit investment. Okay, yeah, Shono, I'm with you on that one, okay? But it shows he was making money, losing money, and making money, losing money. But all of a sudden, things took off. Okay, in September 2012, we like to call this a tipping point. Okay, and what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be showing you several examples, strategies, some analysis that's really been able to assist myself in our tipping points to assist you in finding your tipping point faster. Now, before I pull up my charts, I do want to introduce you to a gentleman who is the CEO and the founder of MTI. His name is Jared Martinez. And he is known around the globe as the FX Chief. Now, he's been trading the market for well over 30 years. Okay, he's literally, take Michael Jordan. Okay, Michael Jordan is literally a legend. Okay, he's just the man when it comes to basketball. Well, that's what the Chief is in this arena. Okay, with the Forex market. He's read over 20 books. He's been seen on Fox, MSNBC, Bloomberg. I can go on and on. But here's why I'm telling producing all additional like him, okay, if I told you you're going to be able to follow him in some live sessions week after week after week, mimic his trades, and become very successful, how many of you would be pretty excited about that? And I know somebody said it's a no-brainer, of course, right? But how many of you honestly would like an opportunity to plug in with him and actually take a look at what he's doing and mimic the trades that he's placing, all right? Now, as we move along, what I want to do right now, okay, is I want to just tell you a little bit about the Forex market before I pull up the charts. Because a lot of you, maybe if you don't know, you might think, what is the Forex market? Well, the Forex market is the largest financial market with almost limitless amounts of liquidity, which really means that it's a market of limitless financial opportunity. Now, there's really three things, okay, that make up the Forex market, in my opinion. This is the main reason why anybody can trade this. I don't care, where you come from, your background, what you currently do for a living. I mean, I care, but you know what I'm saying. It doesn't matter, okay, because anybody and everyone can trade the market if you really want to. So what does this mean? Well, liquidity. Okay, it is the most liquid market. You can enter in and exit whenever you want. There's always buyers and there's always sellers. It's the most flexible market. You can trade it 24 hours a day, 5.5 days a week. And also, it's the most flexible market. Okay, we just talked about that. But when I say it's flexible, that's the beauty. A lot of people, they only have a certain amount of time during a day. A lot of people that work, some markets are only open from a specified time, right? Well, the Forex market, that's the beauty, is that it's 24 hours a day, 5.5 days a week, so you get to call the shots. And it's also the largest market with size. There's over $5 trillion, okay, traded daily on the Forex market. And, I don't know if you're anything like me, but when I heard that, I was like, okay, if there's $5 trillion moving back and forth daily, I'm pretty sure I can learn what I need to make a couple $100 a month, and then it turned into, I want to make a couple $1,000 a month. And so with that being said, I will tell you right now, folks, that the Forex market, to me personally, it is the easiest, the most predictable, and the safest way to invest. So let's pull up the charts, all right? And as I go ahead and pull this up, can everybody please be so kind to just type in a Y for yes, all right, if you do in fact see my, when you see my charts up on your screen. All right, thanks Mike, Fur, and Kosi. Thank you, Anthony, Shono, and thank you, Yannis, Johnny, Joe, Ellis, James, Bethul, and everybody else, all right? Appreciate that. Okay, so first thing I want to let all of you know is this. This is our ultimate charting software. This is the software that we are going to provide all of our students with, okay, that you decide to enroll in our Ultimate Traders Package on Demand program. So for those of you that have questions about the charting, I will give you an opportunity to walk away with it today and be able to trade with it and use it, okay? Now, first thing I want you to understand is that what we're doing in this market, we are trading one currency against another. So for instance, if you take a look at the top left-hand side of the screen, as a matter of fact, I'm going to pull up let me pull up a different one. I'm going to pull up the pound against the Canadian. Okay, perfect. Okay, so first thing I want you all to take a look at is how the market moves, okay? You need to understand that the market moves in a wave-like pattern. What goes up must come down. What goes down must come up. It's just the way it's the way it's always been. It's the way it's always going to be. All right, and that's why when people say, "Oh, it's not a predictable market," I beg to differ. It is a very predictable market because when you learn what you're looking at and you understand how to properly analyze and anticipate where the market's going to go next, that's your number one goal. So if you take a look, you'll notice that the market was going down, right? Then the market decided to go up. Then the market was making lows, and then it went up, then it went down. Right? And so this is what we call market movement. Now, when you look at the currency pairs, I want you to take a look at the top left-hand side of your screen. Does everyone see where it says GBP/CAD? Top left-hand side. Please type in a Y for yes if you do, in fact, see that. All right? So I want to make sure that everyone's with me and that everyone sees that just fine. All right? Awesome. Okay. Thank you, everybody. Okay, so what we're doing, I want you to pay attention to this real quickly. We are trading, all right, the Great British Pound against the Canadian dollar. Now, when we look at that and you say, okay, the pound against the Canadian, what exactly does that mean? Well, like I mentioned before, the market moves in waves, right? Well, take a look how the market was, in fact, going down, right? The market was making lower lows and lower highs. Then the market decided to go up, and obviously it's a bit wavy, right? But it was making higher highs and higher lows. Well, when the market's going down, okay, watch carefully, when the market goes down, that's telling us, okay, that the Great British Pound is losing value against the Canadian dollar, okay? Because since we're trading the pound against the Canadian, right, you can make money whether it's going down or up. It's up to you, but that's what it means. The pound is losing value against the Canadian. Now, on the flip side, and that's also called a bear market or bearish movement. Now, when the market's going up, that's called a bull market or bullish movement. That's telling us that the Great British Pound is gaining strength. It's gaining value against the Canadian. All right? Now, next thing I want to talk about, type in the word no if you do not know what a Japanese candlestick is. All right, so if you do not know what a Japanese candlestick is, just type in the word no for me and just let me know. Okay, some of you are saying no, Jake, and several others. No problem. So what a Japanese candlestick is, take a look at these dark blue and white looking, weird looking rectangular shapes on the screen. These are called Japanese candlesticks. And what they are is they are a visual representation of how much the market has moved in whatever time frame you select. Now, you can have you can have every candle represent whatever you want. 1 minute, 5 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, day, week, month, completely up to you. But the ones on my screen just so happen to represent a 1 hour time frame that we're actually looking at. We're going to pull up some others here in a moment. Now, when you look at this, folks, you have to understand, the difference between the white and dark blue candles. It's very simple once you actually begin to understand this and look at it very carefully. But dark blue candles simply means that the market's going down. All right, so when the market's going down, you will have dark blue candles, and when the market's going up, you guessed it, you're going to have white candles. That's the only difference between the colors of the candles. Now, in this market, folks, what is our number one goal? All right, how many? For those of you that know a little bit about the market, who can type in, how do we make money in this market? What are we trying to accomplish? Okay, good stuff. A lot of you are typing that in. We are trying to capture pips. All right, so if you're taking notes, write this down. Capturing pips. Now, PIP is an acronym, and it stands for price, interest, point. Okay. Now, you don't need to memorize all this. All you need to know is that pips are good, and pips are what you're trying to accomplish. That's what you want, all right? When you capture pips, you're making money, period. Now, when we look at this, let me just give you an example real quickly here. And let me just, we're at live market right here, but let me just kind of, actually, yeah, why not? I'm just going to use live market as the example here. All right, so watch this. We know, okay, we know for a fact that what? We know that the market right now has been going down, right? Well, we also know that this is live market. Okay, can't go any further. Today's date, today's time. That's where the market currently is at right as we speak, this very moment. Now, let's just imagine for a second. Okay, let's imagine for a second that we decided, okay, to place a trade, and let's say we decided to enter into the market right here. All right, take a look at this white candle. Let's just say we decided to enter into the market right there, and excuse me. All right, we got in right there, and I'm going to put a little sell arrow. That's where we got in. We sold the market, and we decided to hold our position. And let's just say we decided to exit our position right here at the close of this dark blue candle. All right, everybody with me so far? So what we did is we got into the market right here. Okay, we decided to sell the market, and we decided to close our position right here at the end of that candle. Now, I want everyone to take a look at what I'm about to do. Top left-hand side of your screen, we are now going to figure out and determine how many pips did we capture. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my ruler tool, and I'm going to measure from our entry to our exit. Now, I'd like for all of you to please be so kind to type in Y for yes. If you see the top left-hand side of your screen, does everyone see that the 4 lines of information that pop up on the screen? Does everybody see that? Please just type in a Y for yes if everyone sees that. Okay. Now, I'd like for all of you to take a look at the third line. The third line of information. Does everyone see where it says range with pips in parentheses? Please type in the number that you see. Don't worry about the decimal place. Just type in 171 if you see that. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Dick, Cheryl, and Trader, Jake, Anthony, and Kosi, and everybody else. So what we've done is we captured 171 pips. Now, look again at the 4 lines of information. Look at the first line is our entry, right? We entered into the market selling on this morning, okay, January 19th at 4 a.m. We decided to close out of our trade at same day, right? We got out today at 10 a.m. Now, we captured 171 pips. Now, since we're on a 1-hour time frame, each candle represents 1 hour of time, and it says there's 6 bars. Look at the 4th line there. It says bars 6. That's telling us that in 6 hours, we captured 171 pips. Now, folks, I don't know if you understand what that means. I'm gonna teach it to you right now. But if you're up 171 pips, okay, that is roughly 1,710 US dollars of profit, okay, at a standard lot in 6 hours. Now, whether you knew this or not, type in a Y for yes if you would be pretty excited if you placed a trade at 4 a.m., got out, okay, at 10 a.m., and within 6 hours you're done, and this is the type of profit you made. How many of you would be pretty excited about that? Now understand that I didn't go over any type of strategy as far as why we got in where we did. I'm just teaching you guys some basics right now. But how many of you understand how this can be very volatile? All right, and this type of movement happens all the time, all day long, folks, and primarily in the morning. All right. Now, next thing I want to do is you might be wondering, well, why exactly did we capture that type of profit? Well, how did you determine that? Well, good question, and let's go ahead and talk about that right now. In the market, folks, in the Forex market, you're going to trade with certain lot sizes. Okay, so your return, your profit, your return on investment will be determined by what lot size you're trading. So in the Forex market, okay, there are 3 major lot sizes. Okay, 3 major lot sizes traded in the Forex market. Now, depending on your investment, depending on what lot size you're trading, that will in fact determine, okay, how much money you're going to make from how many pips you capture. So let's talk about this. I mentioned this earlier. In the market, the beautiful thing about it is that we have something known as leverage. All right, leverage simply stands for buying power. This is why anybody, no matter where you're at, can start succeeding and make a lot of money doing this. We here in the U.S. trade with something known as a 50-to-1 leverage. Now, what does that even mean for those of you wondering? Well, let's talk about the 3 lot sizes. The smallest lot size available to you, this is known as a micro, okay, a micro lot. A micro lot is a $20 investment, and 1 pip, okay, is worth 10 cents. All right, just like that. The next lot size available to you, this is known as a mini lot. A mini lot is a $200 investment, and 1 pip is worth $1. And then finally, you have the largest lot size available to you. This is known as a standard lot. A standard lot is a $2,000 investment, okay, and 1 pip is worth $10. All right, now, I want you to take a look at this. Let's just imagine for a second. Imagine that we are trading a mini lot, okay, with our leverage. A mini lot, what that does is that actually controls $10,000 worth of currency because of the leverage. Let's just say you're trading a standard lot. A standard lot controls $100,000 of currency. Why is that? Because of the leverage. So I'm going to move on, but do me a favor. Type in a Y for yes if this is making sense. How many of you are with me so far? All right, it's making sense, and you got it. You guys good? Everyone good? All right, so listen, we only have 45 minutes, so I mean, I'm kind of running through stuff fairly quickly here, but understand that everyone can get the leverage, okay? You don't need a loan from the bank. You don't need to have good credit. It's how brokers operate, and we get it. And the last thing I'll tell you regarding that is that the beautiful thing about it, folks, is that you can never lose more than your initial investment, okay? Yes, the broker will allow you to use leverage. However, the minute you lose your money and begin to infringe upon theirs, they will simply close you out of the trade, all right? So with that being said, let's kind of shift gears. I'm taking a look at the time here. All right, man, time's flying already. All right, let's just go. I'm going to pull up a different workspace, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up the pound New Zealand on a monthly time frame, okay? Now, what I want everyone to take a look at, all right, you'll notice that we are, in fact, on the pound New Zealand on a monthly time frame. Now, for those of you that are taking notes, I want you to write some of this stuff down, okay? If you're taking notes, write this down. Monthly, all right, month equals direction. All right, we're going to start off with looking, and there's so many different ways to do this, but we're going to start off with a monthly time frame because monthly is a great way to determine direction, right? And then we'll boil it down to smaller time frames. Now, what you're looking to accomplish in this market, okay, there's 3 things that you want to be able to ask yourself and answer every single time, and if you're able to answer these things every single time, you will absolutely dominate and master the market. So I'm gonna type this out for you. 3 things to master. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you become a master of this, just like you've mastered a job, you've mastered a trade, all right, but with that, you got to keep doing it over and over and over again, right? And it's hard to make more money sometimes. With this, you learn it one time, and you go out there and you repeat it and apply it for the rest of your life. Number 1, you want to know where is the market going, right? It's also referred to as trend direction. Number 2, where do I get in? Number 3, where do I get out? So how many of you agree with me? Type in a Y for yes if you agree that, yes, Mike, that makes sense, and I agree that those are the 3 things that you want to master, and if you're able to do that, you will literally go out there and accomplish whatever it is you want to accomplish. Make as much or as little money as you want to make. All right, now the next thing I want to talk about, I want to go ahead and I'm going to draw something known as a counter trend line. Now I want you to take a look at what I'm doing here, okay? Because of the, since we don't have a lot of time, folks, I'm not going to get into, a ton of detail on every little thing that I'm showing you. We'll teach you everything you need to learn. All right, don't worry about that. But I just want to kind of keep this very, very simple for you. And I want you all to take a look right here. Now, what do you all notice happens? What's happening every single time? Okay, every single time the market comes up and touches or comes close to the counter trend line, what do you see happening? Who can tell me? All right, who can tell me? Do you notice how the market retraces and goes down? It heads in a bearish direction, right? Every single time the market touches or comes close to it. So does everybody see that? How when the market hits it, it goes in a bearish direction. Now, what I want you all to take away from that, the reason I'm showing this to you is because I want you to understand, if you're taking notes, write this down. Pattern or convergence, okay? That's what we're looking for. The market will give you patterns, and it will literally repeat itself over and over and over and over again. Now, we like more than one reason to get in, right? Well, if you're looking at this, folks, if you're looking at this, very simple, right? How many of you can tell me right now, based on what we've seen and what we see happening, take a look at the live market, okay? I just put a red arrow there. Who can tell me right now, what do you think is going to happen, and what do you think is going to continue to happen based on what we're looking at? Does everyone agree that, you know what, there's a very high chance that the market's going to go ahead and it's going to continue to rally down a little bit further, right? And so what I'm going to do now, if you're wondering, well, Mike, how do you know that? Here's why. Here's how we know that. I'm going to draw, okay, a horizontal line. I'm going to change this to black, and I'm going to draw the horizontal line, and I'm going to draw it right here. Okay, I want everyone to take a look at what I'm doing right now, all right? I'm going to go ahead and draw it right there. I'm going to take it out all the way, okay? And we'll leave that right there. Now, I want you all to take a look at what's happening. Does everybody notice how every time the market, okay, I keep talking about patterns, what's happening every time the market touches this black line? Who can tell me? Okay, who can tell me right now? What's happening every time the market hits the black line? Does everybody agree that the market rallies up, right? And so there's, it's basically, there's things you're going to learn like channels and, future resistance, future support. We're going to teach you all that stuff. But I want you to take a look right here, folks. This is why I'm drawing what I'm drawing. Now, I want you all to take a look. And by the way, Dick, Trader, James, everybody else that's responding, I just looked at the chat box. Great job, okay? You're absolutely right. Now, once again, I'm going to repeat it, okay? We want more than one reason to get in. So what I'm going to do now is watch this. I'm going to go ahead and move this down. Okay, I'm going to move this down a little bit, and I'm going to place that right here. Okay. Now, with that being said, here's what I want everyone to take a look at. Does everybody notice what's happening? Can everyone tell me right now, what do you think is happening every time the market hits the black line? Take a look one more time. Do you all agree with me? Is it safe to say that the market, once again, it hits it, it goes down. It hits it, it goes down. Does everybody see that? It hits it, it goes down. Hits it, it goes down. Okay, so these are called high points, right? So there's a high right here, high right here, high right here, high right here. Now, based on what we're looking at, based on what I'm drawing out for you, okay, is it safe to say, folks, just give me a Y for yes if you agree that it's safe to say that the market will likely continue to go down until it fulfills our target, which is right here. Just give me a Y for yes. If based on what you see, you are now starting to kind of go, okay, yeah, that actually makes a little bit of sense. All right, now watch this. I'm going to go ahead and measure pips. Now, I'd like for all of you to please be so kind to type in how many pips, okay, how many pips do you see? From where the market is right now to our target, who can tell me how many pips are we looking to capture? Just, I'm going to go from live market as we speak and just type that in. Who can type it in right now? All right, James, good stuff. Awesome, good job, Mike. Good job, everybody. Dick, David. Okay, everyone should be typing in 1,141. All right, Trader, Sam, and everybody else. Everyone see that top left-hand side? Third line down. 1,141. So 1,000, okay, 1,141 pips. If I could spell today, there we go. All right, pips. And that will equate to 11,000, okay, $410 US profit potential. Now, how many of you would be pretty excited about that? Give me a Y for yes if you would, in fact, be very excited if you were able to play some trades and you knew that you were going after this type of money. If you knew that there was a potential chance for you to capture this type of profit, how many of you would be pretty excited about it? All right? So once again, I got to keep moving here, all right? I don't have a lot of time, but what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull up the exact same currency pair, except this time we're going to pull up a daily time frame, not a monthly, okay? Monthly time frame. Now, what do I want you to take a look at? Well, I want you all to take a look right here at the high point. So, for example, let me actually go ahead. I'm gonna draw this out for you. I'm gonna put an arrow right here. Now, can everyone please be so kind to type in a Y for yes if you do in fact agree with me that this is the beginning of the new trend? Does everyone agree that this white candle is the beginning of the trend? Yeah? Okay. Now, perfect. Now watch this. One of the things that you've already noticed, okay, you've already identified is this. When the market goes up, it's going to go up like this. Higher highs, higher lows. Higher highs, higher lows. Higher highs, higher lows, right? When the market goes down, it's going to make lower lows, lower highs. Lower lows, lower highs. So forth and so on. So if we take a look at the same currency pair on a different time frame, let's take a look at what's happening. Now, based on what you see, based on what we're looking at right now, how many of you do in fact see that the market is doing that? Does everybody see that? How the market's moving in a wave-like pattern, yes? All right, now, based on what we're looking at, I want you to take a look at this. All right, if I go ahead, I'm not going to draw a counter trend line right now, but based on what we're looking at, here's what I want you all to understand. We believe the market is what? We believe the market's going to continue to retrace going down. Now, next thing, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but I want you to pay very, very close attention to what I'm about to show you, because how many of you would like how many of you would like the ability to determine not only is the market going down, yes, I believe it is, but how many of you would like to be able to determine just how far down you want to place a trade, right? So what does that even mean? Well, how many of you would like to know exactly where to place your limit? How many of y'all would be pretty excited about that, so that you're not just, trading aimlessly, blindly, but you're going to have a way to know exactly how far should I expect this to drop. Now, that's going to lead me to this next thing. Now, how many of you in the room have ever heard of Fibonacci's? Just type in a Y for yes if at some point in your life you've heard, yeah, good stuff, Krishan, absolutely. Okay, how many of you have ever heard of Fibonacci's at some point in your life? Not asking you, can you give me a dissertation on them, but how many of you at some point not only have heard of them, but you know that it's all about patterns? Yes? Y'all with me on that? Okay. Now, Fibonacci's, folks, is literally one of the most predictable things you're ever going to find, especially the way we design it and innovate it. Now, you'll notice that we have a bunch of different horizontal lines in different colors, right? Well, it's not complicated. I wasn't a math guy. I'm more of a reader, writer, so I was like, uh-oh, this looks scary. But it's not. Watch this. Color matches with color. So red goes with red, blue goes with blue, and green goes with green. Very simple. So watch this. If the market was making higher highs and higher lows, imagine the market's going up. If the market was to retrace or drop down to my red, where can I expect the market to extend up to? Who can tell me? Bingo. Red goes to red. If the market was to retrace down to my blue, retrace is just a fancy word for the market's going down, where can I expect it to go up to? Blue goes to blue. And if the market was to come down to my green, green goes to green. Now, watch this. Ready? If the market's going down, you use Fibonacci's on any currency pair, any time frame, any direction. So if the market's going down, guess what? Nothing changes except direction. If the market goes up to my red, down to my red, up to my blue, down to my blue, so forth and so on. Now, can everyone please be so kind? Type in a Y for yes if you're with me so far. Just give me a Y for yes if you're with me so far. Okay? All right, there we go. Thanks, everybody. Okay, so let's go ahead and delete all this. Let's delete all this. Now, we're going to use Fibonacci's at the beginning of a trend, right? So we've already determined that this white candle is, in fact, the beginning of the new trend, downtrend, right? So what I'm going to do is this. I am going to grab my Auto Fibonacci tool, all right? We're huge. We love automation, okay? So I'm going to click on my Auto Fibonacci tool, and I am going to simply go to the beginning of the trend. How many of you believe you can do that? How many of you believe that, you know what, I can easily find the beginning of the trend? You're going to learn it all, but I'm going to go to the beginning of the trend, and I'm going to simply click my button, my Auto Fibonacci's, and boom, it will automatically provide me with where I need to be at current market, at live market, right? So watch this. Based on what we're looking at, based on what we see, how many of you would like the ability? Well, actually, let me ask you this. Do you all see how the market, okay, market A to B, did the market rise up to my red zone, yes or no? Just give me a Y for yes or no, based on what my question. Did the market come up to my red? Yep. Is it safe to say that my target's going to be down here at the red? Absolutely, right? So watch this. If I now have, okay, now obviously I already got into this trade, but take a look. Based on what we're looking at, is it safe to say, folks, that the market, okay, since the beginning, watch this, how many pips of opportunity have we had since the beginning? If we got in right here, who can tell me right now how many pips of opportunity was at hand? Just let me know. All right, everyone should be typing in. Okay, Thulani, definitely, buddy. All right, so 2,517, right? So 2,517 pips of opportunity. Now, we've already captured a lot of that, right? So let's go ahead and shift gears, and let me ask you, based on what we're looking at right now, okay, let's say you got in right here, who can tell me right now, based on what we're looking at, all right, how many pips are we looking to capture of opportunity? Who can tell me right now? Just simply type it in and let me know. All right, everyone should be typing in 854. All right, sorry, I moved it to 860 on accident. All right, so 854, 860, around there, right? So we're looking at about, let's just call it 854 pips, okay? So 854 pips of opportunity, which is $8,540 profit potential based on what we're looking at, right? Based on a standard lot. Now, check this out, ready? Based on what we see, okay? How many of you understand that we're on a daily time frame? How many of you would like to pull up a even smaller time frame, say an hourly time frame, and do the same thing that we're doing? Are you all starting to understand this? So because of the time, folks, I only got about 10 minutes left. Can everyone just type in a Y for yes if you like what you see and you're starting to understand the potential here, and you're really starting to see how you can make a lot of money doing this. It doesn't matter where you're at, where you have to start, okay? But I'm going to tell you right now, I had no clue about the Forex market. When I learned about it, it blew my mind. And so, don't worry. Somebody asked me, I forgot who it was, you'll get the auto Fibonacci's. You're going to get everything I'm showing you, okay? Now, next thing I want to do, because like I said, we don't have a whole lot of time, is I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to minimize that, all right? And one of the things I want you to understand, take away from what I just talked about, is that there's ways to analyze, right? There's ways and there's so many strategies, ways to determine where the market's going. And one of the things that I'm even going to show you real quickly, and let me see the time. Okay, I'm good. All right, so I'm going to pull up a different currency pair, and what I want to actually pull up and show you is a smaller time frame. So let's just say, okay, right now, what I'm going to do is let me go ahead and minimize that, and I'm going to pull up. Let me just pull up the. Let's see here. Okay, let's just go with the pound Canadian. All right. So we have the pound Canadian. Now, let's just imagine for a second, folks. Okay, just imagine for a second. You pull this up. All right. You want to place a trade. You look at this, and let's just say we're in an uptrend. How many of you believe that without any help, you'd be able to, all right, go, okay, this is the beginning of the trend right here, right? You grab your auto Fibonacci tool, and boom, you plug and play, just like that. Boom. And then automatically, your Fibonacci's are, in fact, drawn out, okay? Now, understand this, folks. There's so many different ways to, that we have automation. We have this thing called Automation Factory and all this. But remember how I told you before, folks, that there's something known as the cheap trading room. Y'all remember that? I kept talking about cheap trading room a little bit. Well, here's what I want you to understand. When we show you what we show you, folks, we are all about results. Period, case closed, and the story. We want to help you get results, right? And so what I'm going to pull up right now is I'm going to actually give you all an example of something. And as I go ahead and pull this up, I'm gonna go ahead and let you know. The Chief Trading Room is a very special exclusive session that he does host every single week, and we're going to allow you to plug into that. Now, if you're wondering how many pips has he captured and when did this start, he started doing this on July, I believe July 5th of last year. Okay, so once again, not even a whole year now. And I want you to take a look at this. Ready? All right. So I'm going to pull this up, and I'm going to go ahead and pull up my online university. All right. Now, does everyone see where it says FX Chief Trading Room? Right. I'm going to click on that, and what I'm going to do is scroll down, okay, to FX Chief Trading Room total pips. This is the track record. Ready? Now, as I pull this up, does everybody see on the top left-hand side? Yep, I was right. We decided to start this July 5th of last year. Notice how we take it out to where we're at right now. Now, this is every week and every currency pair that he looks at and goes over, right, and trades with you. So if you take a look at every week and every single currency pair, you'll notice the total number of pips thus far on each pair. Now, folks, please do me a favor. Type in a Y for yes if you do, in fact, see the right-hand column, all the total number of results of number of pips captured. Now, all the red boxes are losses, okay? So I'm not saying you're going to win every single one, but if you look at the end result, does everybody see that? All right, now, check this out. 49,523 pips have been predicted and captured by the chief alone since July. Folks, I don't want to scare you, but that's way over 400,000 US dollars profit. Now, if we go back, okay, watch this. If I go back to this, folks, I want you all to take a look at this. At a standard lot position, that is it's $495,000 of opportunity that's been predicted and captured, all right? And then at a mini lot, say you're trading a smaller lot size, that is $49,523 of profit. So even if you're at a mini lot, whatever, right? Who cares? You've got to start somewhere. But do me a favor, because I feel like I'm talking really fast, okay? Hey, Carlos, I'll talk to you about that, my friend. All right, but do me a favor, everyone. Can you just please type in a Y for yes if you would be pretty excited if you were able to plug and play and you were able to be a part of this, all right? Because we're going to give you the opportunity right now to do so. Now, I will tell you, folks, that if at this time, for those of you that want more information, you're ready to get going, you have my permission right now to type in your phone number into the chat box, all right? Put the, promo code CHIEF next to it, and we'll know exactly what you're referring to, all right? But with that being said, we're going to get you all the information you need. It's not open to everybody. But as we move along, you might be wondering, what exactly is this, okay? Well, first of all, let's just show you some results of what our students are saying, all right? We post up all the time. For instance, take a look at, this is Josh. He says, hey, guys, you have an opportunity to make 150 pips, okay? Then he says, hey guys, take a look. We're up 673 pips. All right, thank you, Reed. I got about 5 minutes left, okay? So as I move along, folks, understand that people are making money left and right. Hand over fist. Mohammed says, 2,000 since yesterday. Marcelo, 845 pips. Okay, that's over $8,000 at a standard lot. 69 pips, 583 pips, and I can go on and on. All right. Once again, all chief and all the things that he's predicting. Now, for those of you that are wondering, all right, what exactly is the chief trading room? Well, that's what we're going to talk about right now, and I'm going to show you exactly how to go ahead, lock and load, and take advantage of it. All right. Now, I'll come back to this if I have time. I don't think I will, so I'm going to kind of just breeze through some of this stuff. But let's talk about it. The chief trading room, folks, is here's the deal. You're going to be able to interact with a Forex professional online. Use instruction telling you exactly what to do and where to do it and why to do it. You're going to be able to trade live for 2 full hours with the chief every single Friday, and you're going to learn and understand a proven formula of success. And at the end of the day, folks, what are you going to get? Results. That's what it's all about. Next thing is a master trade sheet. All right. So for those of you that are wondering, what is a master trade sheet? How many of you would like the ability to receive a blueprint, if you will, detailing what currency pairs, how many pips you can expect to make, what exactly is happening, where to get in, where to get out, and how much money you can expect to make on that, right? Y'all with me on that? And so once again, for those of you, a lot of you are asking, for those of you wondering how do you get your hands on this, once again, you have permission to type in your number, and we'll go ahead and get you all the information that you need, okay? Now, as we move along, understand it's going to show you what to focus on for the week. We're going to talk about the previous week and what's coming up. Results at your fingertips, all right? I can go on and on. Now, for those of you that like the charting software, some of you are asking me about that. You will receive the ultimate charting software. You'll get that today, as a matter of fact, okay? The auto Fibonacci tool, you're going to receive that. The manual Fibonacci tool, some different systems. You're going to be able to even save workspaces so your charts are always set up, all right, 24/7. You're going to be able to download. So, for instance, if we have charts set up, we'll be able to send them to you so that you can literally mimic them on your charts right out of the gate, okay, directly to your screen. Foolproof King's Crown, all the good stuff, all the deals, everything else that we talked about, all right? So as we move along, folks, understand on-demand analysis. You're going to know exactly what to do, where to do it, and when to do it. So it's basically done for you, all right? Thanks, Ed. I got your number, my friend, and everybody else is typing that in. And so once again, guys, for those of you that are ready to get involved, I will tell you this. I know we're kind of breezing through this, but you will receive every single day step-by-step instruction. Interact with a Forex professional every day, all right, online. All right, every single day, once again, trade live for 2 full hours. And guys, I can go on and on and on. Now, with that being said, here's what we're doing for each and every one of you today right now. All right, I'm going to kind of, once again, I'm looking at the time here, okay? So thank you, Johnny. I got your number as well, and I'll call all of you out here in just a moment. So for those of you that understand this, you're understand it, you're ready to invest in yourself and your future, here's the deal, okay? You already know the results that we've received. Well, here's what I'm going to tell you right now. For those of you that want to get involved in any given day, call in or go online, the cost is regularly, it's $4,199, okay? You tell me if that's worth it. Since July, we're up over, $400,000. Now, today, for those of you that are ready to get involved and you're ready to get going, we're going to allow you to get involved right now, folks, okay, for just $500 US. That is it. For everything we talked about, plug and play. For those of you that understand what return on investment is, okay, then you understand that. And folks, at this time, here's what you're going to want to do. For those of you that would like to get additional detail on this, you have my permission right now to type in your phone number, okay, into the chat box. We will go ahead, all right, and get you all the details. All you're committing to is getting more information on it because, once again, I have to kind of breeze through this. All right, so for those of you that have questions about it, unfortunately, I didn't have a lot of time today, so I got to keep going, folks. But here, we're going to literally get you all the information you need. But do me a favor, okay, as we move along. For those of you, okay, thanks, guys. Reed, tell me, wrap things up, all right? So I got to go ahead and close this out, guys. But once again, with everything that we're showing you, everything we're talking about, here's what I'm going to ask you right now. I see a lot of you are typing in your phone numbers. A lot of you are typing in your numbers, asking us to call you. So here's the deal. Ready? Because I'm done, all right? For those of you that understand what return on investment means, just tell me this real quickly. How many of you understand that if, let me show this to you. Do you all understand that based on the results that we've already produced, do you all understand that in the last month alone, in the last 30 days, you would have been up, okay, over, way over $15,000 at a standard lot. The month before that, you'd be up once again over, over $20,000 at a standard lot. And so once again, this is where you have to ask yourself ROI. So guys, I am done. Reed, I'm done, buddy. But what I'm going to do one last time is I'm right on time here. For those of you that want additional information right now to get rocking and rolling, because I'm done. I have to close out. You have my permission right now, once and for all, to type in your phone number, and we will get you all the details you need, all right? So for everyone, Sean, Denny, Fur, and everyone typing that in, congrats. We'll get you the details. I am done, everybody. So, Reed, you can come back on. But, guys, you know, if you don't want to miss out, feel free to type in your number as Reed comes back on. I'll get all the details, and we'll get you everything, all right? Thanks, everybody. Reed, I'm done. Thanks for the time.